In today's world where every day a new milestone is achieved and where advancements happen in a second, an underlying concept is yet to be fully grasped. Its name is physical science. These physical laws are those that govern the universe and characteristics of matter, including the changes it undergoes. Complicated? Totally. I'm not an expert and I have a love-hate relationship with science. Or honestly just hate. But we can all relate to it. In a broader perspective, revolutionary discoveries have been made relating in laws of nature, medicine, the solar system, like the first landing in the moon, electricity, and the use of technology to generate out efficiency today. Those are only to name a few. But what is deeply rooted in our communities shall now be brought to life. Let's take a look at how physical science has greatly influenced transportation, communication, and industry. Shall we? This is SciZone.
Hi, I'm Mel Jane, and I'm going to embark on a journey in discovering how physical science affects the industry of today's generation. 3 aspects, 3 stories. Get ready to be SciZone. It wasn't until electricity began being harnessed for commercial purposes that industry truly was revolutionized in the 19th century. Thomas Edison's invention of the electric light bulb in 1879 became the means by which large factories could be illuminated, extending shifts and increasing manufacturing output. Basically, as inventions rapidly improve, the easier the task mankind does, and the better their living standards are. Global economic power and technological superiority entailed by the Industrial Revolution had eventually reached the lands of the Philippines. Industrialization enabled the Philippines to vastly improve the efficiency of its agricultural sector while enabling the emergence of a manufacturing base specializing in high-technology goods. Physical science played central roles in the Industrial Revolution as it primarily deals with how non-living things work, which also improves systems of transportation, communication, and banking. It brought an increased volume and variety of manufactured goods and an improved standard of living for some, but factory work and home life were still dependent upon sunlight and lamplight. Prior to the Industrial Revolution, the Agricultural Revolution also began in the Philippines.
I am here now on a rice field and I will be trying to gather ideas and understand how physical science affect agriculture. So as agriculture started, the first activity that was used on a rice field is manual labor. It is a physical activity done by a farmer and is usually accompanied by a carabao. And it is most literally a work done by the hands, like this. Watch me. Ayan. Wait.
But before the revolution in the agricultural sector started, the work of the farmers do not just stop after they planted the crops. Farmers still have to cut the crops using a sickle and thresh these crops by stepping right onto them. However, through the application of physical science and the development of technology, machines were built and the work of the farmers were made easier and faster.
Sa una, pirmero, suyod-suyod lang. Pagka naabot ng traktor. Mas dali ni kay kinamang doon. Karabaw doon. Mas guwapo rin kay kinamang ipihamit. Dari kahit naman. Sa'yo na trabaho mo. Di pare sa una.
It is evident that physical science played a significant role before and will still always be in today's generation because through reasoning, patterns, and hypotheses, scientists were able to produce technologies. People utilized land to build factories, and factories used machines to make goods. These are how mankind improvised their standard way of living. In a simple manner, physical science was already part of our lives before, until now, and forever will be.
Hey, this is Ace Verhel. Let us wander the wonderful journey of communication. 3 aspects, 3 stories. Get ready to be Sci-Zone. Communication has been the most conventional way that everybody uses to basically understand and to be understood. Let us trace its development and how science was able to make it at its best today. Traveling back in time, the earliest mode of communication was through the cave paintings. This was the time primitive humans were able to develop self-conscious and sense of art. Truly amazing how people of those ages were able to develop this type of communication device. Amazing, huh? Many years passed by and discoveries went along too. Early humans found another way to encode and decode information through cuneiforms. Cuneiforms were combinations of words and symbols written and carved mainly on tablets and big rocks. Centuries passed by, telegram came next. During those days, people composed messages limitedly counted and sent this to their recipients. But, it took months to successfully receive the telegraphed message. Sets of generations came out, and one great thing happened. One breakthrough shocked the world. In the 1800s, Alexander Graham Bell discovered the telephone, a communication device used to send and receive messages real time. This time, people of specific distance were able to talk to each other, hearing one's voice. Amazing! Let's go fast track. After the discovery of telephone, a lot of communication devices followed its birth. Cell phones, laptops, and other communication devices. When you have all this, it's a lot. Everything comes after a process. Thus, communication underwent certain stages of class and advancement. From the innate human expression, cave painting, hieroglyphs, petroglyphs, telegram, telephone, up to the present finds and discoveries brought by innovation and technology advancement, we can indeed see and attest how communication was Sci-Zoned. The question, what communication device do you prefer to use? We ask random persons to answer our question. People of different fields have different intensities of science. But one thing is for sure, that they share one common ground, that communication plays an important role in making their task happen. We have here this afternoon Mr. Abdulatif Mayo, the owner of the Unified Products and Services, Happy Pagdian. Let us ask him about how communication is able to help him in his endeavor. Sir Abdul, sa anong paraan po natutulungan ng communication ang pagpapadali po ng transaction cost?
Para po sa akin, ang computer po, malagi po tulong sa akin. Para po sa akin po, sa mga client, lalo na po sa
Maraming salamat.
So, importante talaga ang komunikasyon sa trabaho kasi lalo na po sa linya ng trabaho namin, pera po ng gobyerno ang hinahawakan. So, importante tamang output ang maibigay. At saka kung walang magandang komunikasyon sa loob ng opisina, maaaring yung time ma-waste yun kasi pag mali yung nagawang reports, mali din yung output, ibig sabihin, uulit at uulit. Yun lang.
Mahalaga po yung komunikasyon. Katulad ko po sa aking pag-aaral, pag meron po ako hindi maintindihan, Google ko po yun. Lalong-lalo na, diba, nandito na po tayo sa 21st century. So, ibig sabihin po, araw-araw na po natin ginagamit yung mga teknolohiya.
We also have asked what communication devices were available during your existence.
Sana ko sa una, magsimulatay lang. Dayon, nakabati na lang ko, kay gamay pa man ko itong panahon na, kay bali may gituya na mo, na telepono ko no. Napo ko no PLDT. Kana komunikasyon na.
We have several definitions about communication, but one thing's for certain, that communication enables everyone to share, connect, and involve. Along its development lies a science that explains how it made itself come to this point. Again, this is Ace Viral Batingal. Thank you, and watch out for more Sci-Zone stories.
I am Jaira Kubul, and let us take step into the evolution of transportation. 3 aspects, 3 stories. Get ready to be SciZone. The modern society is pervaded by transportation. In the past, people could not travel as rapidly as today. But as human mind delved deeper to the realm of technology, transportation has become faster and faster, like individuals can move rapidly, starting with one place then on to the next. Each new forms of transportation have answered the needs of every individual, from going to school, catching with work, game, and many others that are kilometers and miles away from our homes with lesser consumption of time. This is made possible by science. Chemists and chemical engineers have made several major contributions to energy and transportation, which allow us to power the lives we want to lead on land and in space. In the 19th century, people heated their homes with wood or coal, used kerosene lanterns or candles for illumination, and traveled by railroad, steamboat, horse, or on foot. The advances in chemistry have revolutionized transportation, contributing new and improved materials to automobiles, airplanes, space vehicles, and roadways. These achievements have brought mankind a complete new way of life. Motorcycles in the Philippines are used for serving as a kind of taxi. They resemble the auto rickshaws of India and the tuk-tuks of Thailand, except that the cab is attached to the right side of the motorcycle instead of being in front or at the back. Tricycles are normally used for short distance travel. With the stronger horsepower of a motorcycle, the tricycle are oftentimes hired to ferry people and merchandise from the market. Depending on the construction and discretion of the driver, the tricycle can ferry from 2 to about 7 people. Mentioning Pagadian, one thing surely comes to mind, the iconic inclined tricycle which the Pagadianans are currently using as a means of public transportation. Let us find out the reason behind this matter.
Munang ipahangad ang sidecar kay bahada kay ang Pagadian. Munang ipahangad siya. Di pwede padungo kayong idungo. Malukot inagbahada.
Pagadian's tricycle is inclined at about 25 degrees to 40 degrees angle. It is designed this way to adapt to the city's hilly terrain. In other case, the tricycle has lots of energy stored in its battery. When set in motion, it involves converting electrical stored energy to kinetic energy in the form of the engine. The tricycle that is on the move has the momentum, which can be defined as the mass in motion. It is our nature to explore, encompass, and conquer the world and the many potential worlds we now appear to know. This is truly an exciting time in the history of transportation. With each advancement in transportation technology, the standard of living for everyone around the world radically increased because trade became easier, faster, more reliable, and convenient. Goods could be shipped around the world and traded for other products. Flight times will be reduced by 50%, bringing the world much closer together and making destinations more accessible in a shorter amount of travel time.
Hey there, this is Rika, and I'm going to unfold how St. Columban College embraced physical science. 3 aspects, 3 stories. Get ready to be SciZone. In 1957, St. Columban College was established. For the past 60 years, the school undergone a series of innovations through infrastructures, its system, and its administration. These changes led to the success the institution is having today. And all of these alterations were made possible through science, specifically speaking, physical science. But how did science become a factor? How does St. Columban College embrace physical science? As a teacher who saw the advancement and evolution of the institution from the first year up to the final year, what was the biggest change that happened to the institution?
Yes, I've been here since 1967. About technology, we always make use of technological gadgets in order to augment our teaching activities in the classroom. Like for instance, we encourage students to make use of whatever available technology that we have, okay? As well as teachers. Before, we did not have yet the projectors, but we had the overhead projector, itong one. And then Nowadays, we're using the projectors to flash out whatever prepared materials for the students viewing and understanding.
Combination of labs, multimedia lessons, instructional videos, printable worksheets, quizzes, tests, and both online and offline projects exist here. And yes, our next up is the St. Columban College High School Department, wherein we are going to ask, with such exercises from different forms existing, how did physical science change the institution?
For the teachers, they impart information and correct real-life application because you cannot teach what you don't have. For students, it guides them to understand different theorems and conduct experiments and follow the correct procedures. And with this, the institution produces high-achieving students. And once the school is producing highly achieving students, then it has improvement. And improvement is a good sign that there is a change.
One of the improvements brought about by physical science in the high school department is the installment of the Genio e-learning around 2010. Genio e-learning is an online learning platform that enhances students' academic performances while having fun. Its early age has a simple teaching strategy: facilities, offices, organization, and even structures. As years go by, the institution was modernized. From structures to teaching methods, the improvement is remarkable, as it meets the need of the students for them to be globally competent, technically and morally educated, and most of all, God-fearing.
In a vastly outstanding design of things, where curiosity in a modern era comes in, how do we deal with a collision of beliefs? How does SSC embrace physical science?
SCC, as a Catholic community, embraces physical science through our community involvement program and campus ministry office, and we're trying to integrate faith and life in the subjects, especially in the elementary and high school.
But in a relatively contradicting view given to us by these teachings about God and by science, how do we react as the subjects in the middle?
The church is actually the patron of science. So science and faith are really complementing each other. And God is the source of all things visible and invisible. God is the source of our existence. Thank you so much.